Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne and this is Wibbly Wobbly Book Nerd, and today I am going to talk you through all the favorite books that I read in 2019. First of all, these are not all 2019 releases. These are just the favorite books that I read this year and that I loved a lot. So, I don't know, maybe you will find some recommendations here if you haven't read them yet. If not, it's just a fun video for me to do, to look back on next year and see if I've read some more new favorite books. The first favorite book that I would love to talk about is not exactly a favorite book, but a new favorite series. Last year, at the beginning of the year, I read the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini and I absolutely loved these books. And these books are about a girl who is raised by monsters who call themselves Kemmerer. And one day, all the doors to the Kemmerer world are burned by an angelic creature. And this girl has to find her way back to her monster family. And if this video doesn't say enough, I gave these books 5 stars each. Because I love them a lot. I love them so much. The next book is, surprise surprise, also by Laini, and that is Strange the Dreamer, which is about Laszlo Strange, an orphan who grew up in a library and hears mysterious stories of the mystical city of Weep. And this is about his journey to Weep and discovering what happened to the city. It is a beautiful book written in Laini's beautiful writing style, and it is, I will recommend this to everyone who hasn't read it yet because it is absolutely fantastic. The next book I loved a lot in 2019 was A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigit Kemmerer. I read this book in March and I loved it, and I immediately needed... Ooh, that was my phone. Anyway, I immediately needed book 2, which obviously hadn't come out by then. It has now though, and I want to read it super soon after I finish what I'm reading now. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling with a disabled main character, and I really like this story about her and the rest of this wonderful cast of characters. So I can't wait to see what happens next. The next book I loved isn't exactly a book, but more of a graphic novel, and that was Women in Battle by Breen. This book is a beautiful description, or more like exposition, of amazing women throughout history that have done great things for everyone. And this is such a beautiful and important book, and I think everyone should read it because it is truly something to learn from. I learned so much about different women that I had never heard of before, and I loved it. So definitely would recommend this graphic novel. It's so quick to get through, so for everyone who hasn't read it yet, go and read it now or tomorrow or whenever you have the time, but definitely put it on your list. Go read it, it's so good. The next book, or books, that I loved are also graphic novels, and those are the Heartstopper series by Oseman. I met Alice at Yalk in 2019 and she was adorable. She was so cute and she talked about her books lovingly, and then I read them and oh my god, did I fall in love with this story. This is a book about 2 boys who meet and become friends and then become more than friends, and it is so beautifully drawn and put together. It is in black and white or in grayscale, and these 2 boys in this story just took my heart and didn't let go. It's beautiful and it's wonderfully gay and I love it. So again, everyone should read this. I am repeating myself all the time, but then again, this is my favorites of 2019 video, so basically I'm telling you to read all these books, and I will tell you again and again. Let's move on to the next book. The next book I really loved was Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, which is about a girl who grew up in a library. I think I have something with libraries. Maybe because I'm a reader? Anyway, this is about a girl who grew up in a library that is filled with magical books or grimoires that are sentient, and one day the library gets sabotaged and people die, and then she is somehow implicated in this crime, and the story starts there. I really liked this book because it had a very anime-esque world, and I thought it was very whimsical. And as I said before, I might not be a very critical reader. In a previous video, I'll link it up there. or there, whatever side it is. But this world was so whimsical and magical, and it had a lovely side character that is my favorite character of all of the book, and that is Silas. And if you read this book, you will know what I'm talking about. I really, really enjoyed it. The next book, which was kind of surprising for me because I haven't read a thriller in very, very long, is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. This is a book about a nanny who goes to a house that is completely filled with electronics, and the entire house is controlled by a panel on the wall. The lights, the music, the everything is controlled by that. And there are some creepy children and creepy stuff happens. It is suspenseful. It is great. I love this book. And this is also the book that made me fall back in love with thrillers, because I hadn't read a thriller in years. And now I did, and I really liked it. So yeah, props to Ruth Ware. The next book that I absolutely loved was Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. This is a book about children who have gone through magical doors and come back and can't get back to their magical world, and it's about them adjusting to living in the real world again. This is a beautiful book that I thought about long after I'd finished it, and I haven't started the next few books in the series yet, but I really want to very soon because I just loved the first one. I thought it was beautifully written, very like quotable writing style that you read it and think these lines are beautiful, I want to write them on everything. The next book I really liked is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I had a very hard time getting through this book because it was so thick, but I really enjoyed the story, and I cannot wait to see where it is going next year. Hopefully next year. Hopefully next year. Please let us get the next book next year. Anyway, this book is a dark academia book about a girl who's called Alex, or Galaxy Stern, and she can see ghosts. And she is enlisted by Yale University to monitor secret magical societies. And that's about all I will tell you. Go read it for yourself. I really enjoyed this book. There's nothing much to say about it more than that. Just read it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. We're almost there. We're almost there. The next book that I really loved was The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. This book ended a series that I love very much. And for me, the ending was perfect. And I don't want to change a thing about it. And I cried a little bit. And because it is the ending of a series, I'm not going to tell you what it is about. Just Google The Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black and you'll find enough information about it. It's about fairies, I will tell you that, or about fae in the fairy world. I really loved it. It's great, in my opinion. This is all my opinion, by the way. This entire video is just my opinion. Disclaimer. If you don't like these books I'm talking about, that's fine too. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, just so you know. Let's move on. There's 2 books left on this list. The second to last book that I loved so much was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a book that details the life story of a fictional film star, and it is beautiful. And this is basically a lesbian love story, and it is amazing, and I cried. I cried a lot. I cried a lot, but it's so good. And definitely read this book, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And then the last book that I really loved was The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. This is a retelling-ish of an Arthurian legend. It's about Guinevere and Arthur, and what more can I tell you? It's great. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I loved a lot of books this year, so I found it hard picking just 10. Are this 10? Nope, they're not 10. This 12. See, that's how hard I found it to pick just 10. I picked 12. There were many more that I gave 5 stars, so I still had to pick and make the list shorter. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a like and a subscribe to my channel, because that's great. And thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon in a new video, and I love you. Goodbye.